Oh, hey. Looks like Nina's not in her usual spot. Might be getting a little special scene with her then. Hey, Mom, came to bust in on your privacy. What is it, Epsilon 9? Oh, you found that old photograph, huh? I look at it a lot when your father's gone. Yeah, it's the one where, Eddie's arms around Nina and they both look really happy. Apparently, they're both a lot less so since he's always gone. Kinda glad I started the recording on that, we kinda almost would have missed it. But here we are back in the junkyard, because what's the first thing you do when you get a tank? Upgrade its engine. I got this, right? Yeah, I got that. Yes, mod my tank. Mosquito. The tin off. The next step up from a donkey. Turbo! TT? FN? Ta-ta for now. I'll be coming back quite a bit, because I can't remember offhand which towns have mod shops, so as opposed to looking for them, I'm just going to always come back here. I dropped off everything I needed to drop off, right? Yes, I did. I bought another stick-on metal. I switched out my sandals, which only offers 1 point of defense, for sneakers, which offers 4 on my main character. Misha already has sneakers, so she doesn't need to swap out sneakers for sneakers. And that particular music means that a sale's on. And when a sale's on in one town, a sale's on in every town. I can't remember if a sale wraps up if you spend a night at an inn, and I'm not going to test it out to make sure. Oh, look at that, we got 3 tank treads now. 3 sets of tank treads. But it does go... The sale does end if you get into a fight with a monster. So, it's usually best to take advantage of sales by using the personal teleporter from town to town. But that doesn't work if you're going to be buying tank parts, because you can't just buy tank parts. You need to buy the tank part and then load it on your tank in order to have the ability to carry it. Yes, I would like to see your merchandise. Let's see, buy part. Now, you have 2 main different types of subweapons. You have the gatling and you have the vulcan. The gatling gun does a bit more... Like, say, for example, the 9mm versus the 9mm gatling versus the 9mm vulcan. The gatling does a little bit more damage, but only focuses on one opponent. The vulcan, however, attacks multiple opponents. And it's that instance that the vulcan is a bit better of a sub-weapon, because you're going to be fighting a lot of weak opponents, and a lot of times you're going to be at like a fair enough level that the vulcan will be able to take out all the opponents on screen in one attack, as opposed to having to wait for all 3 of your teammates to get an attack in order to wipe out all the opponents. So it will save you time and money on armor repairs in the long run to get a Vulcan as opposed to a Gatling. But sometimes you wind up getting a Gatling for free, and in that instance, you know, it's cheaper to get a free Gatling than to actually buy a Vulcan. And right here I kind of screwed up on, because I was so busy explaining the difference between Vulcans and Gatlings, and Klingons, which I totally forgot about, but I'll probably bring up those later. No, I won't. That's a joke. There's 1 or 2 other items that I forgot to pick up while we're here. And there's some items I forgot to drop off. Oh, no! Oh, well, it's not a big deal. It's really not. I just wanted to buy a couple more teleporters. Fortunately, we can just take the teleporter that's on the D-Mag, and as soon as I stop using the D-Mag, I can transfer it over to another vehicle. I should probably be saving my money anyway, because the immediate next town we go into after New Folk is going to have 2 points, and which are very expensive. Probably should have healed up my tank. I'm not too concerned about my main character, though. I still have plenty of healing capsules. I'm also curious, is the spider tank bounty still open? We'll find out when we get back to town. But first, there's something in the desert that I need to find. There's another tank part out here in the desert. I think it's over here. There it is. The Tap Dancer is the special equipment type weapon. I hardly ever use special equipments because they're not as powerful or specialized as certain main guns. I'm sure I would use them more often. Like, they're more valuable later on in the game. But, like, these starter special equipment, it's just not worth it. Anything that you would need a special equipment for, you can take out with either your subgun or your main gun. Special equipment just adds on an extra bit of weight, and special equipment also doesn't carry as much ammo as main guns do. Main guns, on average, carry 20 shots, while special equipment, I believe, on average, carries about 6. Oh, please tell me the spider tank is still available for a bounty collection. Did I even collect the bounty on Bugsy? I can't remember that either. Yeah! Yeah! Cha-cha-cha-cha-ching! I'm kind of happy that it's still available, but at the same time... Yep, I'm still the item finder. I'm so surprised that the spider tank is actually still around this long. I don't think it's ever been around this long before. Usually it's switched over to something else by now. Well, back to the abandoned buildings. There's still more items to find. How you doing, McKinley? We're going to be talking to him quite a bit. Also, sometimes you want to take the long way. Maybe randomly click X as you're going along in case you find a rock or some other item that's not included in the item list on GameFAQs. Because you never know what you might find out there. You never know for certain. And also, you need to run into enemies from time to time. You need to get that little bit of extra experience. Even if they're only giving you 1 point of experience, that's still better than nothing. And the little bit of money that they give you is always better than nothing. And you're not really losing anything for it other than a couple seconds it would take to kill them. Now, this building right here, we have checked out everything in it that is worthwhile. And we're instead now going to check out this building right here. Also, Connie and Clive have apparently left. There are a lot of objects are rusted through. Actually, there is one item in... I may be mistaken, but I think there is one item over here that I did forget. Yes, I see, right there. Within a second of coming in here, I found the item that I missed. The strange hilt actually is indeed something of an important item. It is a component piece for a pretty good weapon. Although, by the time we actually get around to making the weapon, we might have found something better. I'm not sure. Bags are scattered across the floor. I did not hit the X button for that. That just brings itself up every time you come in here. Got another healing capsule. And you might have noticed this little glowing orb right under here. Unknown ore. I don't think there's anything in here, but we're gonna check to make certain. So it is. Found a medium ore. Apparently that's not included in the list either. I may have to send 3 times a message about that. Second room, first floor. Second floor, first room. Can't remember if I'm in the... Oh, yeah. That's one of the reasons why those enemies are somewhat annoying, because one of their abilities is to help their friends escape. It's especially annoying when they don't act first, and you damage one enemy, and then the enemy who's helped escape is the one that you damaged. So then you wind up not getting the experience and money for beating that particular opponent. Tile pack S, that is the... So we're in room 3, of the second floor. Yes, here's room 2, nothing in here. I say that even though I found the medium ore, which is not included in the list. And found a big metal. Yeah, that's definitely included in room 1 on the listings. Hop back down to the first floor and get our tanks. Because we should be able to take our tanks up to the 3rd floor, I would think. And in case you're wondering about the ores, there are 3 types of ores in the game. There's the large ore, the medium ore, and the unknown ore, which is just a fancy way of saying small ore. You wind up being able to trade in the ore for, I believe, scrap metal? And you need to exchange the scrap metal for tanks on 2 different occasions. The scrap metal is kind of annoying because at one point you're going to need a lot of scrap metal in order to get 2 tanks. There's the large ore. Yeah. Okay. Right, yeah. So we came up here, didn't run into a monster yet. Probably not going to. Oh, we just did. Hush my mouth. Sheesh. Freaking rice cookers. Why would you give a rice cooker a machine gun? You know, I don't think that was rice. I don't think those were bullets they were shooting at us. I think it was rice. I went and stepped on my own joke. Not really a joke, because that's actually what I believe they to have been shooting at us. Because it's probably not a machine gun, even though it's called that. It's probably just a high-powered rice dispenser. Not sure why you would want that much power in a rice dispenser, but you know. Ski mask. Should have hit R2 on that. I mapped the equip button to R2 for that specific reason. Nope. Yeah, camo cap does 5. Hard hat does 2. So Misha's getting the ski mask. I'm sorry we have to hide your pretty face. I know wearing glasses and a ski mask is not very comfortable. But for some reason a ski mask offers more than 3 times as much protection as a hard hat. How does that work? And we got a revolver. The revolver is actually not as powerful as the metal bat. And also, this button right here is why I'm so hesitant to come in here early on. There's a switch here. Activated? Yes. Security system activated to locate intruders. Boot up complete. I think all that does is maybe unlocks... Yeah. It unlocks a new enemy type called the Grain Gunners, which is the... Because we had the rice cookers, which are the white ones, and then we have the mother of pearl ones, which are the Grain Gunners. Jeez! Gotta hurry up and kill these guys. Because I know it unlocks... I'm almost positive it unlocks the grain gunners. But the thing is, I can't be certain. Good thing we killed that one. I'm also worried that it doesn't activate them so much as it shuffles out enemies. And we are working towards that bestiary, so... You know... Can't have enemies be shuffled out, because especially if you press that button again, it doesn't, like, switch them out as far as I know. It just... Once that button's been pushed, it's been pushed. Heal your stupid ass up before you get killed. And I think that's all in this episode. I'll see... Yeah, I think that's all that's in this building. I'll see you guys in the next episode.